Well, Xbox had a fun weekend of the end is near.
There's like a doomsday clock, where the hands are like it's like 5 of doom or whatever. We need that for Xbox. It
It
could
got
be the
pretty close
Xbox
this
logo.
weekend, I feel like. Enough that they came out and said, like, yeah, we're still building first party hardware. Which
Whatever. I
that
just
that is
don't
my
even.
that is my exact response because we both know that yeah, maybe they are. And I'm not saying they're not, but
What else are they gonna say?
right,
Like,
exactly.
yeah, I'm glad you guys thought of this. Actually, now that you mention it, we're done.
And the fact that Costco is no longer selling us and Sam's Club is doing a fire sale of our consoles and people in Europe can't really find them either. But we are still building. Like it's
Yeah. Oh, it's
yeah.
been 5 years. I mean, they've come out with a really meaningful midstream update to the console, so that was good. And then, it's not like the prices have gone up twice in the past year alone. Yeah, everything's fine. I'm fine. Are you fine? How you doing? You feel good? You look good. Yeah,
I
we're
mean,
okay.
the thing is they're building them right up until they're not. So,
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I feel like they were building Windows Phone right up until
I was gonna say, did anyone ask him about the Zune? How's that
yeah,
going?
or the band,
The
or even the
yes.
Xbox streaming stick thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There used
So,
to be, oh God, the media center thing for Xbox, the original Xbox, I think. Yeah, I think, or maybe the Xbox 360 was called like bobsled. Remember? Or was
oh
there was a something sled and then another sled. I don't know.
yeah,
It was like a disc. It was like literally a disc. You put it in the thing.
whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they put out a statement that says we're still investing. I think they said investing heavily or something in first party hardware.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this weird thing with AMD. Which the thing is like we both know they could meander this any way they want. They could make the argument that there's still the ROG Ally is first party hardware investment.
Yeah. It's
It's
got an
with AMD.
Xbox logo on it.
It's got an Xbox logo on it. They now aren't publicly like funding any support of this, but they very well could be behind the scenes. So,
Well, I mean, so I don't know if you saw this, but I got one of those Lenovo
oh no, I did not.
Legion. Yeah. So this proves a couple of things to me. One, Windows might make sense on a handheld like this, but it's got to be that full screen experience thing
Yeah.
that is not on this yet. Also, if you're used to playing with an Xbox controller like I am, this doesn't have all those buttons, and that's not good. And I took some time this weekend to play with like a normal Xbox controller, which sort of works. And I say sort of works because literally I have to reconnect it with Bluetooth, like kill the device and then reconnect it as if for the first time every time I want to use it. Might be a bug in this thing. I don't know. But the state of this thing today, I mean, it's powerful actually. Like Call of Duty, whatever, looks great, plays great. I mean, a sniper in a distant window is 1 pixel.
Yeah.
Other than that problem, it gets way under 2 hours of battery life when you play it this way. I think there are power management settings you could make, and I will. I mean, I just started looking at it, but man, this thing's like a jet engine, dude, in its default configuration. So it's like, it's loud. It's just it's loud all the time. Like it's loud just sitting there running. It's loud. I have to like shut it down because sometimes it just pops on and then you're sitting there watching TV or whatever. And you hear like, over in the corner of the room, you're like, So I don't know. It's, I mean, in the sense that like x86 is not really the future. I feel like that's really true of these handheld things. If they can figure out this, it's something with ARM, so much better. But then again, with whatever, I think it's like, what do you call it? Radeon 890M graphics, games look good. I mean, they get that right. I don't know.
Yeah. There was also, speaking of AMD, OpenAI announced that are they investing in AMD like a whole bunch of money?
So, I think they're going to use their chips.
Yeah, OpenAI.
Was there a figure with this though? Because I know
it was 10 billion. That's right.
Oh, okay. Because it was 100 billion with Nvidia, And then I only saw the headline. I'm barely conscious at this point, so I'll I'll catch up on the news when I can. But
It just says
I
OpenAI. Well, I can't see that one. OpenAI
don't know if
agrees
there's
to
a
use.
dollar amount.
Yeah, they're just basically spreading whatever around. It sounds
Did
like.
they agree to use any Intel chips? Because that's how you know the company's doomed.
Did it say?
I didn't see a number. I feel like the number would have been
AMD
in
issued
a,
OpenAI a warrant for up to 160 million shares of AMD common stock.
which is worth how much today? A warrant?
Some sort of amount of money. I don't have.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll look it up at some point, but it's not $100 billion. Let's put it that way.
Well, now I want to know because there's a million different posts about different things.
Mhm.
Okay. So AMD said on Monday it will supply artificial intelligence chips to OpenAI in a multi-year deal that would bring in tens of billions of dollars in annual revenue and give ChatGPT creator the option to buy up to roughly 10% of the chip maker.
Oh, this is a little bit different than I thought.
Yeah,
So
so it's buying a
they
bunch of
actually are
shares.
investing in AMD. That's
Yeah.
curious. Hmm. Hmm.
Yep.
You would think OpenAI. I mean, I get maybe they're probably agnostic to this, but then I mean, for all the data center compute, sorry, that they need. Obviously, GPUs are a big thing, but you would think that they'd want to just be straight up ARM across the board, in the data center. So I don't know. Maybe there's something going. I don't know anything about what AMD is doing in the data center, but I have to. I mean, I assume it's. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. I assume it's isn't. I shouldn't even speak on this. I don't really know. I would assume it's x86 is what I was going to say, but I actually really don't know.
The curious thing is where AMD OpenAI is in its life cycle at this point, because I still don't think they're profitable, right? They're
Profitable? What do you?
Yeah.
No, dude, they don't even come from a planet where profitability is a thing. They're
making money because I give them money, so I know they're making money. But
yeah, but that's not.
I'm
Not
wondering
covering
if
their
they are
costs,
running into.
No, they're not profitable. That much I know.
I'm genuinely wondering if they've run into the issue of like, hey, there's just no more companies out there that can give us the data centers we need. Because look, they started with Microsoft. Even Microsoft outsourced some of its own cloud stuff to these, like they call them neo clouds. And then they went to Oracle, and Oracle's like, yeah, sure, we'll figure this out, right? That'll make us some money.
They were just running it. There's only so much infrastructure. That's the thing. They can't.
Right.
This can't happen fast enough, and there isn't enough right now.
Yeah, and
I
so
don't
now
know.
they're
Maybe they're
looking
going
at
to do. Maybe this is about getting AMD to do custom chip design for them or something.
maybe that could have been it. They could have been like, look, we'll happily build these chips for you or help co-design
That is
them.
something. By the way, that's something they do, right? They've been doing the past couple of gens of Xbox and Sony consoles. And then there are examples of like this was on ARM, I guess, but when Microsoft did custom chips for Surface that were ARM based, that were like SQ1, SQ2, whatever. Obviously, they have that new stuff for AI data centers, which is, I think, is also ARM based largely, but I don't know that it's based on someone else's design. I don't actually know where that comes from exactly, but I don't know. It seems like I don't know. They have very specific needs,
Yeah.
Google does their own hardware, like they've for a long time, and
Yep.
when you think about stuff that they do, even on the client, like with phones and stuff, it's like or the tensor chip, whatever. They see this need that the rest of us don't understand, frankly, but whatever. So they make their own chip. It's a multi-year process. It takes a long time, and maybe that's the process that OpenAI is going through right now. They sort of realize it's like the Google thing with Chrome. It's like, we can't trust you guys to do what we need, so we have to do it. And maybe this is what the start of that. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
How much money has been burning, like going in and out of this company in the past just like month?
I don't know. Like it's like
it's astonishing.
It's like it's like artwork, right? Like the rich are just buying artwork. Now they're just pumping money into this thing, and then it comes back to.
Yeah, except it's pretty close to being a pyramid scheme at this point.
No, I was just thinking that it's like, here's what you do: you go buy some AMD stock. You get
with what
your fund. Like, no, you get your fund or whatever, your sovereign wealth fund, if you're whatever Middle Eastern company or whatever. Go buy a
Yeah.
whole bunch of AMD stock. Then you invest into OpenAI. OpenAI valuation is whatever. And then OpenAI goes to AMD, says,
Yep.
hey, we're going to buy a whole bunch of stock. And then your price value of that
What are you
just,
buying it with? We're buying it with the money that someone paid to buy our
yeah.
stock, and it's like this. It's like a circle jerk. It's
And then
just
the
like
AMD stock price goes up. You sell that, get a bunch of your money back. And then you have your OpenAI shares, which will devalue at some point, I guess, along the way. But
I, I, I've mentioned this a couple of times. I apologize for keeping repeating this over and over again. But there is that video about Intel that I mentioned. I think it was CNBC, but something like it's on YouTube, right? Probably 20, 30 minutes long. But it approaches. It's one of many videos that are about like what went wrong with Intel. But this one is like from a money, like financial perspective, and involves a lot of things. I just don't know anything about this stuff. Like this is not my world, right? So I feel like this is that again. Like these are technology companies. It's like saying, like, hey, by the way, Google, Google search, Gmail, photos, whatever. Yeah, they're an ad company. They don't. It's a weird thing to kind of wrap your head around, and I feel like that's what's happening here. It's like this. They're absolutely an AI company, but are they really just like a financial juggling thing? Like I don't know what this is. Like
no, I know. It's very weird what OpenAI has become because they are
yeah,
setting markets, is what they're doing.
yeah,
Right? They're buying up so many GPUs from all these companies. Meanwhile, in the negative, so they're taking money from anybody who will give it to them.
yeah. No,
Prices
yeah.
go
I
up.
mean, clearly, right. If Microsoft could have done everything they wanted and did
Mm-hmm.
do everything they wanted, maybe we wouldn't be having this conversation. I don't know. But it's very clear. Nothing is very clear. I'm sorry, that's not true. But they need so much. I've never seen a company like usually you think about any company like Microsoft in the early days through the 90s or whatever, like you're on some growth path and you make money selling a thing and then you invest the profits from that into maybe new businesses, improving your products, whatever it might be. It's a normal business, I guess. I don't know. Let's just call it. OpenAI is my earliest opinion of this company when they first kind of hit my radar, which is probably like ChatGPT 3.5 or whatever that was, that first big one, was Google was like a weird company. Remember when they went public, they had this kind of Dutch auction thing, and it was like Google's always done stuff a little weird. Like OpenAI is so weird, they make Google look like the most mainstream,
Mm-hmm.
boring, normal company on earth. Like they're off the
Yeah. Oh,
chart
yeah, yeah,
weird.
yeah. Full agree with
Yeah,
this.
yeah, it's very strange.
They are. It's. I don't know how this novel ends. Right. That's the thing.
No, I know when that's the thing.
So either OpenAI like gets to some point and like achieves whatever general relativity theory of AI, and just
I
we're all doomed, and then they become megacorp,
yes,
right?
right.
Or it's just like they nope,
Oh, I'm going to take this one step further, dude. There is no precedent for this company.
no,
You
that's what I
can't
mean.
point
Like
to
it's
anything. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is either going to emerge as the biggest company in the world, or it will literally disappear in a flash of light overnight.
yeah, like it's
I
we
don't
talk
get
about
it.
the .com bubble, and this is very different because the .com bubble was a bunch of weird companies starting up, but at least like diapers.com, like you understand the concept
Yeah,
of
it may
what
have
it
been
is.
stupid, but you
But
understood
you
what it was doing.
understood that, like,
Yeah.
hey, they provided a service.
Hmm.
As of right now, OpenAI has provided a chatbot and
I know.
text output. Now, granted, I understand why they're valued, where they're going, and what's going on, and clearly they have some
Yeah.
bigger vision
Yeah.
here. But their valuation and the amount of market pool that they have. I
I
mean,
know.
I have Yahoo. First off, I haven't been to this website probably in 2 decades, but I have
Yahoo.
finance.yahoo opened.
Oh boy.
And
Yep.
it says AMD rockets higher on OpenAI deal. OpenAI fast becoming a whale in the stock market. Tesla, or what is it here? Nvidia shares down because of OpenAI agreement. Like it's
Yeah, they're actually impacting
like
the world in a
they're
major
market
way. Yeah.
movers at this point, which is
Yep.
weird for a company that's not public.
Um, Look, sometimes growth is great. It's like a fractal coming together and turning into this beautiful thing. And sometimes it's just cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, there's no way to actually predict anything with this company. They're so weird.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't.
And they're just chucking billions.
Do you feel like there are people like Satya Nadella would be one of these guys, or what's his name? Kevin Scott.
Kevin Scott.
Sorry. Or whomever that maybe runs Google or Amazon or what, or those parts of the company that deal with this stuff, or Oracle, do they know something we don't know? No, I mean it. Like, in other words, are they literally on the cusp of something that is like the most dramatic technical innovation of all time? Or is this literally just they're falling for some hype or whatever?
The thing is, there is a real product there. However, there's two parts to that question I think you just asked. Is Oracle falling for something? Is Microsoft falling for something? Oracle specifically, I don't think so. I think they're like, look, someone's going to give us a whole bunch of money and we can try to build out as much infrastructure while somebody else is paying for it. We're taking that deal any day of the week. Microsoft has already taken that deal in some capacity.
Yeah, but Microsoft might have been the start of this. So obviously Microsoft invests some money, and then they invest some more money. And then part of the deal is like, we're going to get everything you make and we share your revenue, yada, yada, yada. We can say no to deals. We can do whatever it is. They get a really good kind of a one-sided deal. And they're pumping out the stuff. Nothing Microsoft makes seems to work, by the way. I don't mean like functionally, although that there's that too. But it doesn't seem like it's resonating with a lot of people. So whatever. But these other companies, Google especially, they invented the tensor, everything, right? They're jealous of this. They're like, what is going on here? Everyone wants a piece of this company. And they see the relationship falling apart, and they're like, this is my opportunity. Microsoft must have seen something. They wouldn't have bet the whole company on this if it wasn't there. What if it was never there, and now they're all just following along because Microsoft's been so successful with this stuff. Yeah. Like, is this some kind of mass hysteria or something like?
Right. This is the growth opportunity that's on the plate. So either it's a massive win, or it's the next to-do app, right? And then they'll
yeah, and it's like, if you look at Nvidia today, is like probably the biggest company in the world still right now, and the rapid growth that they had over the past few years. This company that made video cards for computers, for Christ's sakes, like a couple of years ago. Never could have seen this coming, but you see like how they handle themselves, and they're doing great and everything. But the downside to that explosive growth is it ends, and at some point your year-over-year comparables look really bad. Because it's just going to happen, like Azure for a long time was 70% growth, and then it wasn't. And people started asking questions, and those people are Wall Street people like me are like, this is fine. It's a mature business now. Who cares? But like, if we're going to follow this stupid capitalism kind of model where you have to keep growing, the downside is that if you grow too fast, it's like if you're you're like a one-hit wonder, like Carly Rae Jepsen, right? What's that? Call Me Maybe. She's never going to have another good song for the rest of her life. She's done. She can keep trying. Nothing is ever going to be as catchy or whatever. She's done. And it's sad, because if she had followed maybe more of a normal career kind of a thing, where at some like, oh, this is a pretty good hit, and then this one's, oh, this is good, and then it's like, bam, it's awesome, something awesome. Then you have like Taylor Swift or whatever. But like, OpenAI, it's like, what did they do? They stole a bunch of data, they mixed it all up together, and they regurgitate it. I mean, they've made sense of the internet. I mean, God bless them. I guess Google could never do it, but but the internet is full of garbage, and I don't understand. They're pumping out Disney characters and Nintendo things, and they're just I don't know. They're not generating. Well, again, they're a different kind of company. I still have a hard time wrapping my head around a company that's not selling a product to a company or a person, or I know they are, but it seems like the money is a lot more nebulous, and there's a lot more of it.
Because the only thing that they have that could, it's a loaded statement, but like search, right? They could effectively kind of upset Google in search and take away from that. And I'm sure they already are in some capacity, but not to the valuation that they're currently holding.
That's right. It's incommensurate with what they've actually accomplished so far. That's what I mean when I said, is there something we don't know? Like, look, Satya Nadella is not a stupid person. I don't know if it's not probably Larry Ellison or whatever, but whoever's running Oracle, whoever's running that part of Amazon, et cetera. These are not stupid people, but I don't know. The the human condition. You know, you see, you're jealous. You feel like we should be getting part of this, and they must know something. They wouldn't do this. I mean, they're smart people too. Is anyone paying attention? I don't know. I don't know. That's a little
I don't know.
strange.
We will see. We will see. Much like we
Yep.
will all see us again on Friday. I don't have jury duty this week, but I'm going to go up to the office because I'm assuming I'll have jury duty the rest of the month at some point and can't go, and there's things going
You're
on.
going to get like a murder trial. I'll see you again in December.
Guilty.
Tell you, man.